With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K. I want to thank you for joining me for another edition of my Rants and Raves videocast. I love having guests on, although I will say that between now and the end of the year, you're going to see a lot of just videocasts with me talking about my observation of 2022 and what I'm going to see in 2023 and kind of giving you some sneak peek and hints at my crystal ball for 2023. But for now, I want to introduce George Borden, who's solution architect for Sharp NEC Display Solutions. George, how are you?
Gary, you're doing great. Thanks for having me back. Good to be here again.
Yeah, I appreciate you joining me. I've seen you decorated your office a little bit more now. You got both brands there. That's impressive. You've got a collaboration board. Is that a CB next to you there? Which board is that next to you?
We have a Sharp Aquos board over here. We've got the CB series behind me. Behind that is the Windows collaboration board. And then over here out of shot, there's a few other bits of technology. So yeah, it's a war room for sure.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Windows collaboration board because that's something I want to talk to you about. Obviously, NEC, I've been surprised to not see any big announcements about Teams because you're the one of the only. There's only two of you in the entire industry, display companies that make every kind of display technology. You make every single kind, and you haven't addressed Microsoft Teams front row or the solution that they have there. What's your plan on that?
Yeah, I guess from a marketing perspective, that is true. However, from the back end perspective, we've been supporting Teams rooms for quite some time. Interesting to know, Teams is 5 years old now. So there's just a lot going on with Teams. We were thrust into this in our 16:9 world, having to work with Teams having to work with us. Now it's so fantastic, elongated displays are needed. You hear the word 21:9 aspect ratio used quite a bit. And that's exactly what we've been doing. So for various corporate boardrooms and installations.
There's an image I'm putting up right now. That's Teams front row in a projection application where you're 21:9. You can be up to 32:9. That particular one I think is 32:9. That just takes two 16:9 projectors, edge blend them together. I mean, obviously you can do that, and you can do that with LED too.
Right.
Technically, but I'm surprised you haven't addressed a kit, like a system. Like Sharp NEC's always been really good, especially from the NEC side of sort of putting things together. I remember y'all had the first set of projection kits for digital signage, for example, and collaboration. You put things together with the Infinity board way back when. When should we start seeing sort of that approach to things from Sharp NEC?
Yeah, for sure. And adding to that bucket also our awareness in the industry of video wall creation too.
LED.
LEDs. Yeah. I can say this, that DirectView LED, there will be kitting coming out here fairly shortly to address the Microsoft Teams room from a more solutioning perspective. Right now, we've been doing it from a custom perspective. Every use case is different. So, those that are entertaining DirectView LED, we've been able to do that from a custom. But like we've done with kittings for boardrooms and, 110-inch diagonals, 160-inch diagonals, we're going to have special kits for that as well coming up into the near future.
I figured that was going to be the case. And obviously, you're distributed by Exertis Almo here in the U.S. and Exertis internationally. So for those that want to, to engage with you, just go through Exertis Almo, your local Exertis Almo rep. And of course, they can contact you directly, right, George?
They know where to find me. I can never hide, Gary. It's odd.
But we always find you on LinkedIn and it's easy to get a hold of you. But of course, Sharp NEC Display Systems, again, there's only two companies in the world that make every kind of display technology available to the market. And they're one of those two companies. So you'd be crazy not to at least be an integrator for the brand. Whether or not you're selling all of it, it depends on what your objectives are. But certainly you have a little bit of everything. And I look forward to seeing what y'all come out with in 2023. I know there's some stuff. I know a little bit about what you're planning on doing from some of the new product perspective at ISE, but I know you're going to do a lot more than that. So George, I want to thank you for joining me today. And
thank you, Gary.
I want you to come back regularly as a guest.
I will, sir. I will. Your invitation for sure.
And is that Guitar Hero guitars or real guitars back there?
No, sir. Those are real. Those are real guitars. The Guitar Hero stuff's in a box upstairs somewhere. The kids abandoned that years ago. But yeah, that's a real guitar.
So what do you like to play? What kind of music?
Believe it or not, I'm a drummer formerly, but I do play in a couple different bands. The War Room here happens to become the practice studio. So. Yeah. There's PAs over on the other side of the room and other things. So I tend to play the
we're
drums,
all
but I move
former
around.
aspiring musicians in some way, right? The whole industry.
We're not only
is filled with it.
aspiring, but our industry's full of former roadies, ex-rock stars.
That's
It's
good.
fascinating how many of us touch the music industry in some way, shape, or form.
That's definitely true. And you made it a lot further than me. So thanks, George. Thanks for joining us. And of course, you can see all my Rants and Raves video casts at ravepubs.com. Just click on the podcast link or Rave Radio link, I should say. Thanks, George. Have a good day and have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.